Aloha, this is Carl Bonham. I'm the executive director at the University of Hawaii Economic Research Organization. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the forecast report that UHERO just released. It's a little bit more upbeat report than we've seen in a while. It points to the strong progress on vaccines. It points to really the two key pillars of moving Hawaii's economy forward. The vaccination progress, both in Hawaii and on the mainland or globally, and bringing back tourism dollars, and then also the federal spending. So a big piece of why this report is more optimistic is an expectation that Congress is going to pass the American Recovery Plan that is poised to bring a large, almost as much money as the CARES Act. If you put the December federal bill together with the American Recovery Plan, you get roughly the same amount of dollars as the CARES Act. And that's really what's been holding Hawaii's economy together. If you look back at progress in 2020, we saw a loss of jobs from about 660,000 people employed to roughly 500,000. We lost about 160,000 jobs in the beginning of the pandemic. That recovered a little bit when we reopened from the first shutdown, and then we lost a little bit more when we went back, when Oahu went back into shutdown. And the real gains that happened in the fall came from safe travels. It came from the success of safe travels and bringing tourist dollars back and bringing people back to work in hotels and restaurants, not in bars yet. And the after safe travels launched, we gained back. We went from 520,000 jobs to about 590,000, and then we've gone sideways. And so that points to why the really summer travel is so important. We saw a good February. We're expecting to see a good spring break, but the summer travel season is really crucial. And our forecast calls for roughly another 40,000 people coming back to work in 2021. And so that gets us a long ways back towards sort of return to normal, if you will. And that's without having, visitor numbers anywhere near where they were at previous peaks. But that summer travel season is really important, and it points to a need to communicate to travelers that, this is how we're going to run things in the summer when, possibly 60, 70% or more of the traveling public, at least the US traveling public, will have been vaccinated. And in Hawaii, we could certainly hit 60, 70% of the Hawaii population vaccinated, or whatever the number is. The risk from travelers is going to be greatly diminished. And we need to be conveying, we need to be telling people what the process is going to be in June and July, when we could see that peak travel season. The other thing to keep in mind is that when that federal money runs out, we need to have built up both the tourism and the more local focused economies. We need to have that back sort of strong enough to sustain employment and to keep Hawaii moving, so that we don't lag the rest of the country too severely for the next several years. Mahalo.